Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're struggling with this text type, that is magazine article in your IGCSE exam, then I'm going to help you. I'm just sharing some tips with you with the help of what you can write a good article in your exams. The first thing is to have a deep understanding of your audience. When you know your audience, the next step comes how to engage them. You can engage your audience using TCS. TCS stands for tone, content, and structure. So you must use relatable tone, relevant content, and organized structure. There are two examples on my screen for your better understanding. Question one says write an article for a teenage magazine with a title What's the Point of Learning to Cook? And the second one says write a magazine article for young people with the title Music Matters. It means title already been given to you. So, what is TCS here and whose audience here? Your audience is teenagers, or you can say young people. Then the second one as well, your audience is young people. So, how you are going to engage them? You can engage them using TCS. TCS means relatable tone, and C stands for content, that it should be relevant content. And the third one is organized structure. So, you must have these three things in mind while writing your magazine article. In case your audience is young people, it is important to use a friendly and approachable tone. And how can you be approachable? You have to speak directly to them. Means you cannot impose anything on young people or teenagers. You must have a casual conversation with them in your magazine articles as well. Use a relaxed conversational style that make your content feel accessible and engaging too. How can you keep your conversational tone? You can use personal anecdote, rhetorical questions, and a touch of humor to keep young people interested. As I said earlier, your tone should be approachable. So, how can you keep it approachable? You are not imposing anything on them. Instead, show them two sides of the same coin and let them decide which way to go. Now, how can your content be relevant? Think about the issues and ideas that matter most to the young people you are targeting. For example, what are their passions, what are their concerns, and what are the daily experiences? Now comes the structure. Your magazine article starts with a title. It should be eye catching, it should be concise, and it must give a clear sense of what your article is about because it sets a tone right from the start. Then comes introduction. Your introduction then needs to build on your title, quickly hooking the reader, and it provides the context for the content that follows. And I have taken these examples from the past papers showing you how your title works in exams. For example, Teenage Cooks, colon, a minority question mark. It's such a short, a small title that you can use in your articles as well. There is a question in the past papers, write an article for a teenage magazine with the title, What's the Point of Learning to Cook? So sometimes examiners gives you the title themselves, and what you have to do, you have to keep TCS in mind then. TCS means again the tone, relevant tone, relatable tone, and then the content should be relevant too. And the last thing is structure. So look at the structure here. For example, how your body paragraphs look like. Admittedly, this example again I have taken from the past paper and it was in the insert. Admittedly, I was encouraged to cook when I was a kid. We had domestic science lessons, means you're using anecdotes here at school. So from time to time, I tortured my family with imaginative, if undercooked, concoctions warmed in a microwave, but these weren't real cooking skills. This is how you can engage your audience. Talking about the structure of the magazine article, it must consist of short, long, and a complex structure, sentence structures. When you add variety to the sentence structure, it helps you keep your young readers engaged and engaged throughout your writing piece. For example, I have taken an example from the insert that was given in the past papers. Nowadays, in our house, our 13 years old son must do chores each week. Dash, it gives him off the internet. Look at the sentence structure. It is not a simple sentence. So look at how the different sentences are, they begin with and how they end up. Perhaps unsurprisingly, comma, given what I do for a living, the one he chooses most regularly is preparing the family meal under guidance from one of us. He's surprisingly good. It means every time the writer is changing the sentence structure. If you have such thing, if you keep writing the same way in exams, no doubt your readers will be hooked. This is how your magazine article is structured. It starts with the title, then comes introduction, then body paragraphs, and the last is the conclusion. I have taken the same example from an insert from the past papers. Perhaps technology can be blamed. In the brackets, it usually can. Kids are spending too much time online to be interested in cooking, though my suspicion is that people are heading back towards the kitchen because it's cheaper than the alternatives. It means that your conclusion should be such that it leaves the readers with call to action. When you're talking basically to the young people, you're not imposing your ideas. You are simply giving them two ways to go and let them decide which way is the best for them. Before I end my video here, I must tell you something about assessment criteria, and that is assessment objectives, means how your writing piece will be evaluated or assessed in the exams. There are two things in exams. One is the reading section and the other one is the writing section. When you read the insert, you're supposed to demonstrate your understanding of the explicit and the implicit meanings. For example, here there is an example from one of the inserts. My mother is a talented pianist. She loves to play classical music. One of my earliest memories involved sitting by her piano while she played. It gave her joy and personal pride. In the next paragraph, it is written, I hated them. I was nervous and hated the songs. I was being forced to learn. I was a kid and wanted to do other things instead. It means that it is explicitly written here that mom was doing something as she liked to do. But the implicit idea here is the parents sometimes push their children into things that they are not interested in. Suppose you are given this title in exams, what's the point of learning to cook? So you can start and end your magazine article like this. Cooking, there is no doubt. You have heard of it before. In fact, it's a skill which is the reason why you're even alive. You've likely experienced the joy of enjoying your favorite meal made by mom, but have you ever thought about the possibility of cooking to yourself? It means you can use rhetorical questions and you can engage your readers using a second person pronoun. And the ending should be like this, can be like this. Learning to cook also helps preserve your culture and traditions. Ask your mom. She's likely the one who has passed down family recipes over the years. Nothing would make your parents happier than seeing you learn and recreate traditional dishes. Don't you enjoy watching like that?